speaking of someone that is great at spinning, John Calipari today picked up a super impressive win. I think this was what Kentucky did today, beating Alabama 90-81, despite taking Alabama's best punch in the first half, playing without their starting backcourt of Severe Wheeler and Ty Washington. That was as impressive of a performance that we've seen out of them. Kellen Grady, it felt like he hit 27 threes. I think he only went 7 for 9. He probably would have won the 3-point contest tonight. So Goodman, I'm going to you first on this one. What's your biggest takeaway from that Kentucky performance, and just how good is this team?
I mean, we've said it for now weeks. They're good enough to win this whole thing this year because, the pieces fit together. Even, again, you're without your starting backcourt and you beat the hell out of Alabama in the second, really after the first, 15 minutes or so. I think they were down
13, down 13.
Right, down 41-28 with about 5 minutes left in the first half, and then they dominated after that. Grady was great. Oscar was his usual self with another double-double. Davion Mintz, who's their third point guard, and he didn't commit a turnover in 39 minutes against Alabama. It kind of shows you how bad Alabama's defense is. But I think the biggest revelation with Kentucky has been Keon Brooks. He's been awesome the last probably month or so, and I think he gives him a different dimension. Again, when I was down there in the preseason, I talked to Kellen Grady a lot about their chemistry, and he's not a BSer. He's not. We're off the record, which I probably shouldn't even be saying at this point, but it's worked out, so I can talk about it. He was saying how great their chemistry was, how much they hung out, him being an older guy, even hanging out with the young guys, and you could see it now. Their chemistry is absolutely terrific. And again, I think the blend of experience and youth works with this group.
Yeah, I think the experience point is really important. I went through and looked up all of the birthdays for their best 5 tonight. Davion Mintz is 23 years old. Kellen Grady, 24 years old. Oscar Tshiebwe is 22 years old. Yeah. Keon Brooks is 21 years old. And who am I missing? The other someone else was 20. Jacob Toppin, 21 years old. All of them are upperclassmen. I don't know what their technically what they are in terms of years, because of the COVID seasons gets me all confused. But all of those guys have been in college at least 3 years. Prom, did you ever think that you would see a John Calipari team winning games like this with a bunch of upperclassmen?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job this year. I think he's done a phenomenal job. I think Jeff had the other day just winners and losers in the transfer portal. I think he's done an incredible job. Kellen Grady, just the skill level, basketball IQ, ability to spread the floor and make shots. I know Severe didn't play today, but he's been a big addition. Obviously, Tshiebwe. But I think the biggest thing you look at, how impressive a win. You don't have your backcourt, and you play Alabama in the pace that they play at, and you get down 13. He only played his bench 9 minutes today. 9 minutes.
Crazy.
He played 4 guys off the bench, 1 4 minutes. I think Collins 4 minutes, Bryce Hopkins 2 minutes, another guy or two. The starters played the majority of the game at that pace, that high level of a game, and they come out and dominate the last 25 minutes. Kentucky's obviously legit. I think I was texting with Rob during the game earlier today. I don't know if they can win the SEC. They may tie. I think Auburn will end up being the number 1 seed. I'll say that. They tie for the title, but I think Auburn will be the number 1 seed based on head-to-head. But that Auburn-Kentucky SEC championship game in the SEC tournament, that'll be a lot of fun to watch. But incredible job today by Kentucky. Just really, really good win, and they got a big game against LSU coming up.
Hey, Rob, when I was down there in the preseason, I remember asking Cal one question. I said, in our big powwow that we had, I said, if this works, are you going to go this route? Are you going to keep with this route of transfers, older guys with freshmen? And he kind of looked at me like, and he said, not necessarily. I thought for sure it was a given. This is the route he's going to go from here on out. But I think he wanted to see how this thing works. So he kind of said to me, not necessarily. I'm not sure. I'm not tied to it all. But I think now, after the success they're seeing this year, you would think Calipari would feel pretty good about this blueprint going forward, because he can get the best transfers and the best freshmen And why wouldn't you have that blend of experience and top talent?
Well,
Yeah, and
here's
I think
my thing with that.
Calipari's.
No, well, I just broke. I don't mean to cut you off. But my thing with that is, I think it's less about how you build the roster and more about the kids that you build the roster with. Like the thing about that team that won in 2012 with all the freshmen, like Anthony Davis was willing to sacrifice. Michael K. Gilchrist was a great kid that played a certain kind of way. And when your two best players are your hustle guys and your defensive anchor, I think that kind of changes what you can be. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that every team is going to be built around freshmen like that, or every team needs to be built around upperclassmen. But I think if you look at the actual kids on the roster now, all that said, the team that won in 2012 also had a bunch of upperclassmen that played on, like Darius Miller and Deron.
Yeah, Darius Miller was huge for that team.
Yeah, so I don't think that you should lean all the way into one way or all the way into the other way. I think you need to make it be a mix and identify the human beings that you want in your program, because I think like that's what Villanova does so well, right? And that's what Baylor does so well. They identify people that fit with what they want and how they want to play and what they want to do and what they want the culture in that locker room to be. And I think that Kentucky really hit a home run this year with just the kids on that team. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, the transfer portal, as good as it can be, it can go the other way on you too. Because when you come January and things get tough, now everything's revealed. Characters revealed, toughness is revealed when you're going through tough moments. In Kentucky, they had some setbacks early, the Notre Dame loss we touched on and, a couple other, setbacks along the way. But the one thing you got to know, if you sign up for that Kentucky to play Kentucky, he's going to coach you very, very hard every day. And he's going to demand of you at an exceptionally high level. And I mean, I saw the other night they were playing, man, halftime going in there, man, he's all in Kellen Grady. I mean, he is getting after him. And Grady, he handled it. And you saw it, and we'll get to it. Texas Tech, Mark Adams coaches those guys hard. And they get a little chippy, but it stops. It stops. And, man, all eyes on Mark, all eyes on John, and that's a credit to those guys.
They got shooters this year, too.
Mm-hmm.
They got a shooter. Like, Cal hasn't had a shooter like Kellen Grady in how long? And we say it every year. Why? You can hand pick. Go get the best shooter, whether it's out of the portal, whether it's from high school, whatever it is, because you got enough other dudes that can drive and kick, athletes, whatever you've wanted. He did that this year with Kellen Grady, and he has been lights out. I think the last 18 games, he's shooting 47% from three.
Yeah, and he's coming from a program like Davidson where, Bob has coached the heck out of him too, where he understands how to play within a system and playing the right way. And like you said, spacing the floor and understanding and okay with that role.
Yeah. And I also do think it's one thing I want to give a little bit of credit to for Kentucky. There's a very much a next man up attitude when it comes to basketball programs and any kind of a team. You have somebody go down, it doesn't mean that you can just quit. You still have to go out there and win. So I think we have to give a lot of credit to guys like Davion Mintz and guys like Jacob Toppin, who in moments where, Toppin's battling through an ankle injury of his own, in moments where it was their time to shine. I thought
Mintz could have left. Mintz, everybody thought he should have left. Why would you come back for another year? Just go and make money overseas or whatever, because they got Wheeler and Ty coming in, and he stuck with it, and he was huge today. Huge.